Hello everyone, this is Mr. Mahmood here, helping you do better in maths by giving you tips and tricks on how to revise and going through maths revision on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. Today's video is on GCSE Maths Foundation and GCSE Maths Higher. Questions are taken from past papers and you'll find the full list of topics in the description below, so please do check it out. I've also started posting tips and tricks on my Instagram account, which is Mr._Mahmood_Maths, so please do not forget to follow me there, and also do not forget to hit that like button if you like this video. So let's get on with it. First of all, we have a question on fractions, adding fractions. We can clearly see the denominators are different, so straight away we know that we need to find the common denominator. In other words, we need to make the denominators the same. Now we can see 7 and 14 multiples of 7, so I can just get away by multiplying the 2/7 by 2, so that will give me a 14 in denominator, and according to the equivalent fraction rule we need to multiply the numerator by 2 as well. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 7 is 14. Now this fraction is already out of 14, so I'll leave it as it is, 1/14. We found the common denominator 14, which stays the same, and the numerator is 4 add 1 is 5. Double check if you can simplify the fraction. As we can see, we cannot simplify it. 5/14, we cannot change it into mixed number because it's not an improper fraction, therefore leave it as it is. So that's our answer, 5/14. Next, again another adding fractions, so we can see 6 and 12 multiples of 6, so we can multiply this fraction 5/6 by 2 to make the numerator 12, so that means we need to multiply the numerator by 2 as well. 1/12, leave as it is, added to 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 6 is 12, and we have 11/12, because 10 add 1 is 11, and the denominator stays the same. Never ever add the denominators. A common mistake that students make is we'll add 5 add 1 is 6, and then 12 add 6 is 18, and then they'll simplify it 1/3, and they'll think, wow, I found the answer, I even simplified it. No, never ever do that. Always find the common denominator, find the equivalent fraction, and then add the numerators. Never add the denominators. So answer is 11/12, and we cannot simplify it, so leave as it is. Next we have a percentage question. Work out 35% of 160 grams. So because it's a non-calculator, cannot use a calculator, so we're going to find our 10% first. So 10% is 160 divided by 10, which is 16. Now because we've got 35%, so let's work out what 30% is. So I can times that by 3. So that gives me 30%, so that means I need to times by 16 by 3 as well, the other side. So 3 times 16 is 48. Now we need 5 more percent because I've got 30, we need to get to 35%, so I can halve the 10% answer to get 5%, so that means I have to halve 16, which is 8. Need to add these two together, which is 35%. And 48 add 8, 8 add 8 is 16, carry the 1, 4 add 1 is 5. 56 grams is my answer. Next we have ordering decimals. If you're not quite confident with ordering decimals, I would suggest write them out in column and make sure the decimals are aligned. So 0.4, 0.02, 0.37, 0.152 and 0.2. Now compare the decimals. So we got 0, they're all 0, so we don't know which one's small or big. So let's go to the tenths. So out of the tenths we can see this one here, 0.02, has the smallest tenth, so we can see this is the smallest number. So 0.02 is the smallest to start off with. Cross it out so you don't repeat it again. Then out of these 4 we can see 1 is the smallest, so 0.152, 0.152, cross it out, and then next one is 0.2, 0.2, cross it out, and then 0.37, 0.37, and finally 0.4, 0.4. And we've ordered the decimals, so 0.02, 0.152, 0.2, 0.37, and 0.4. Now, a common mistake a lot of students make is they think 0.152 has more digits, therefore it will be the largest number. No. Always, if you're not sure, write them in column and then compare each digit at a time. So you've got units, tenths, hundreds, thousands, and then write your answer. Next we have simultaneous equations. So we can see none of the terms are the same. That means we need to multiply one of the terms with a number so that we can make the terms same, either x or y, and then we can eliminate one of them. So in that case, I'm going to multiply the second equation by 3 so that I can make the y terms the same. So I have to times everything by 3. So over here we have x plus 3y equals 12. That's my first equation. And then the second equation we have 15x minus 3y, and 3 times 4 is 12. Now the signs are different, so I'm going to add. 12 add 12 is 24, 3 plus 3y minus 3y, 0, and x plus 15x is 16x. Now I've got an equation, 16x equals 24, divided by 16 both sides. That will give me x is equal to 24 over 16. So we can divide top and bottom by 8 to simplify the fraction. X is equal to 3 over 2. You can change it into decimal. X is equal to 1.5. Next, we need to substitute the value of x into one of these equations. So you can choose any of those equations, it doesn't matter which one. So let's choose the first one. So we got x plus 3y equals 12. Let's substitute 1.5. And then we have 3y equals 12. Solve the equation, minus 1.5 from both sides. That will give us 3y is equal to 10.5 divided by 3 both sides. Now it can be a bit tricky when you have we're dividing a decimal by a whole number. Now if you think you're not quite sure how to do this, I will say revisit that topic, dividing and multiplying by decimals. Then that will give us y equals 3.5. Okay, so our x value is 1.5 and y value is 3.5, and that's our answer. Next, 504 is a product of its prime factors. So let's do the factor tree. 504, and I always start from, because it's an even number, I always start from 2. You can never go wrong with 2s. So 2 times another number gives me 504, and that number is 252. Circle the prime number, because we're going to need these prime numbers later for our answer. 2 times, it's going to be even number, so 2 times 126. Circle the prime number. 2 times another number, which is 63, gives me 126. Circle the prime number. 7 times 9 is 63. Circle the prime number. Is 9 a prime number? Sometimes you can actually get confused. No, it's not, because 9 has more than one factor, more than 2 factors, 1, 3, and 9 itself. So 3 factors, so 9 cannot be a prime number. You can always check like that. And 3 times 3 gives us 9, and 3 and 3, they are both prime numbers. Now let's write it as a product, which means times. So 504 can be written as a product of its prime factors, which are 2 times, we've got another 2 there, 2 times, you got 3, I'll write in order, 3 times 3 times by 7. Now if the question says write as a power, yeah, it does, right? Product of the powers of its prime factors. You need to write its powers. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 cubed. 3 times 3 is 3 squared, and times by 7. So always read the question. Have you answered how the question is asking you to answer it? Okay, because it's powers, we need to change it into powers. So 2 cubed times by 3 squared times by 7 is the answer. Next, we have in line the write down 3 different multiples of 4 that add up to 40. Now, this kind of questions can be a little tricky because you need to check that you have the correct numbers for the 4 multiples of 4. Now, there might be several answers for this. It says 3 different multiples, so you might need to give you one of the answers. So if you're not sure how to answer this type of question, always, I would say, write down the multiples of 4 and then choose your numbers very carefully. It might be worth 2 marks, so why not spend 2 minutes? Got 2 minutes to spend, well, more than 2 minutes. So I would say spend that time and get your answer right, because these are easy questions you don't want to make mistake on. So multiples of 4, so in other words, times tables of 4, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Oh, not done my multiples of 4 for a while. You might not need to go all the way up to 40. I'm just writing them down just in case I need them. Okay, so 3 different multiples of 4 that add up to 40. So 3 numbers I need. 3 different numbers. Not the same one. 3 different numbers. Okay, so let's have a look which numbers add up to 40. So 4 and 8 add 12. Add 12 is 24. No, it doesn't work. So we need to go slightly higher, slightly bigger number. So we got 20. Yeah, yes, let's work like this. We got 20. Which 2 other numbers will make another 20 so that we can make 40 altogether? So we got 4 and 16. That makes 20. And we got 20. So 4, 16, and 20. They all add up to 40. Is there a different answer? Yes, we got 20. And 8 and 12 make 20 as well. So 8, 12, and 20. So we've got 2 different answers. You don't need to write both because you're only asking for 3 numbers. So we can just write one of the answers. Next we have substitution. Now substitution, like I said in my previous revision video, always write down the values and then use BidMath to solve it. Okay, so we have p equals 4x plus 3y, so we're going to write down p equals 4 times by x is 5 plus 3 times y is minus 2. Do BidMath, multiplication first. 4 times 5 is 20, and plus 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. 20 minus 6 is 14. Answer is 14. I mentioned in my last video that usually these questions are worth 2 marks, so 1 mark for just substituting the values in, and 1 mark for finding your answer. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. So we have point A and point B. Now, we know that to find midpoints of coordinates, we need to find what coordinates A and coordinate B is first, and then we're going to add the coordinates x coordinates and y coordinates together and divide them by 2. So we're going to add the x coordinates, find the midpoint of that, and add the y coordinates, find the midpoint of that by dividing by 2, and that will be our midpoint for the line AB. Okay, so let's have a look. So coordinate A, so A we have minus 2, 3, so minus 2, 3, and coordinate B we have coordinate for the point B we have 4, 5. Now we're going to add these 2 x coordinates, so these are x coordinates, and these 2 y coordinates together and divide by 2 to find the midpoint. So midpoint minus 2 plus 4 divided by 2, and 3 add 5 divided by 2. The minus 2 plus 4 is 2 divided by 2. 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our coordinates for the midpoint of AB is 1, 4. Now for this question, what you can do is you can draw the line, and then if you plot 1 and 4, 1 across and 4 up, and you can kind of see that it is the midpoint. Because the line is diagonal, we have to work it out, and you get the working out mark. So this will be the midpoint coordinates of line AB. Next, we have a ratio, dividing into ratio. So Harry, Alice and Rob share £350 in the ratio 2 to 5 to 3. How much money does Rob get? So first of all, we need to find out how many shares we have altogether. So we have 2 plus 5 plus 3, which is 10 shares altogether. We need to find out how much each share is worth. So we're going to divide the total amount by the total number of shares, which is 35. Each share is worth £35. So Rob is going to get 3 shares. So we're going to have 3 times £35, which is £105. So Rob's share is £105. We can also answer this question in a slightly different way. So if you struggle to remember all these methods, we can start off by drawing boxes for each share. So we've got 2, 5 and 3. So this is Harry's share, 2. This is Alice's share, 5 of them, and Rob has 3 of them. We have 10 boxes altogether, so each box will have £35, because 350 divided by 10. Just going to write 35 in each of them. And we're interested only in Rob's share, so we're going to, Rob's share is these 3, which is adds up to 35, add 35 is 70, add 35 is £105. The total surface area of a cube is 294 centimeters squared. Work out the volume of the cube. Now let's quickly draw a cube. Now we know a cube has 6 faces. Now each face has its own area. So when you add all 6 areas together, it gives us 294. So to find out face of one area, we can start off by dividing 294 by 6. And that will give an answer of, so the calculation, so 294 divided by 6, too small, 6 goes into 2 0 times, 29, 6 goes into 24 times, 24, 5 remainder, 6 goes into 54 9 times, so 49 centimeters squared. So each face is worth 49 centimeters squared, so it has an area of 49 centimeters squared. Now this is the face of one of them, and in order to have a area of 49 centimeters squared, because it's a because it's a cube, we have a square, so each face is a square, so the length and width has to be the same. Now we can do is we can square root 49 to find out one length of the cube, which is 7, so each length is 7, so 7 times 7 gives us 49. Now it's asking us to work out the volume of the cube. Because it's a cube, length, width and the height, they're all going to be 7, so this is all going to be 7, all 7. So we know to work out volume, we do length times width times height. Because all the lengths, width and height are the same, so we're going to times 7 by 7 by 7, and that's going to give us an answer of 7 times 7 is 49. 49 times by 7 is, now always, if it's a non-calculator question, always do the calculation on the side. 63, 7 times 9 is 63, 7 times 4 is 28, add 6 is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 343, because it's volume, centimeters cubed. So we found the volume. Work out 0.06 times by 0.0003 divided by 0.01. Give your answer in standard form. Now, there's two different ways you can answer this question. You can either change these numbers, decimals, into standard form first, then do the calculation. Or you can do the calculation first, then change your answer into standard form. I'll show you both ways. So let's do it without changing into standard form first. So multiplying decimals. So 0.06 times by 0.0003. So ignore the decimals times the numbers, which gives you 18. You need to put the decimal back in. So how many decimal places do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0.000018 divided by 0.01. Now change it into standard form. Now, because we know that according to the rules of standard form, we need to make the numbers prefix into a number which is between 1 and 10. So we need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right. So the number becomes 1.8 times by 10 to the power of minus 5, because we're going to the right. And then divide that by, we need to move it 2 places to the right. That becomes 1 times by, because we moved it 2 places to the right, be 10 to the power of minus 2. Now let's divide the prefix, the numbers by number, and the powers by power. So that will give us 1.8 divided by 1 is 1.8. 10 to the power 5 divided by 10 to the power minus 2. We take away the powers. Now just be a little careful here. Because we have minus 5 and we've taken away minus 2, because of minus 2, the negative and negative becomes a positive. So minus 5 plus 2 gives us minus 3. So that will give us 10 to the power of minus 3. So the answer is 1.8 times 10 to the power minus 3. Now the other way of answering this question is by changing each number decimal into standard form first. So this one would be 126.0 times by 10 to the power of minus 2 times it by 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to move it 4 places to the right. So 3.0 times by 10 to the power of minus 4. Dividing that by 1, 2 places to the right. So it'll be 1 times 10 to the power of minus 2. Do the top bit first. So 6 times 3 is 18. Times by 10 to the power minus 2. Adding 10 to the power minus 4, which gives us 10 to the power minus 6. And then we have 1 times 10 to the power minus 2. Now 18 divided by 1 is 18. Times by 6 minus 6, take away minus 2. That gives us minus 6, take away 2, because of plus 2. That gives us minus 4. Now this is not in standard form. The prefix is 18. So according to standard form rule, we need to make the number between 1 and 10. So that means we need to move the decimal 1 place to the left. So that becomes 1.8. Now because we made the number smaller, we went to the left, we're going to add a power. So it'll be 10 to the power minus 4. So minus 4 add 1, which is minus 3. That gives us 10 to the power minus 3. And that's the answer. And you can see in both working, we've got the same answer. Next, work out the value of 3 to the power 7 times by 3 to the power minus 2 divided by 3 cubed. So let's do the top bit first. So 3 to the power of 7 add minus 2. 7 add minus 2. 7 take away 2. That means take away 2. So it gives us 5. 3 to the power of 5 divided by 3 cubed. And because we dividing, we need to take away the powers. So 3 to the power 5 take away 3 is 3 to the power 2. And because it's asking us to work out the value, to find out what 3 squared is, 3 squared is 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. Next, how many faces does the pyramid have? So faces, we got 1, 2, 1 at the back, 3 to the left, 4, and 1 at the bottom, 5. So he has 5 faces. How many edges does the pyramid have? So we have, let's count the edges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'll be 8 edges. Now in your exam, try to get a highlighter or a different colored pen and then go through the edges so that you get the number of edges correct. Now on this question, you could also be asked how many vertices does the pyramid have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices altogether. So vertices 5. Next, work out -2 whole cubed. So that means we need to multiply -2 by itself 3 times. -2 times by -2 times by -2. -2 times by -2 is +4. And 4 times -2 is -8. In a sale, the normal price of a book is reduced by 30%. The sale price of the book is £2.80. And work out the normal price of the book. So it's been reduced by 30% out of the 100%. So the current percentage is 100% it was. Reduced by 30%. At the moment it's worth 70%. So we know 70% and the current price is £2.80. We need to find out what the 100% price is because we need to work out what the normal price is before the reduction of the book. So let's work out what 1% is. So 1% is going to be £2.80 divided by 70. And you need to work out what 100% is. So £2.80 divided by 70 times this by 100. Now, when you come to this sort of calculation in your non-calculator exam, always try to simplify it first and try to make it as simple as possible and then work it out. And then divide by 10 top and bottom. And then we can do is 7 goes into 2.8, 0.4 times. And then 0.4 times by 10 is 4. So the answer is £4. So the original price or the normal price of the book is £4. Next, the size of each interior angle of a regular polygon is 11 times the size of each exterior angle. Work out how many sides the polygon has. Now this is a typical question that could also appear in the higher exam. Because you have to form and then solve the equation and then work out what the number of sides are. So according to the question, we have the interior angle of a regular polygon is 11 times size of the exterior angle. So we can say interior angle is 11 times the exterior angle. And then what we also know is that interior and the exterior angles are up to 180 degrees. This is something that you have to remember. I'm sure you come across this before. If you haven't, I will say look into your revision guides. Now, we know that interior angle is 11 times the exterior angle. So we can substitute interior angle with 11e. Let's just simplify that, 11e. So substitute in this. So 11e plus e, we can say it is equal to 180 degrees. So let's simplify this. We have 12e is equal to 180. So let's divide it by 12 both sides. And e is equal to 180 divided by 12 is 15. Okay, so we found the exterior angle, which is 15. Now let's work out the interior angle, one interior angle. So interior angle is going to be 180 take away the exterior angle because they both add up to 180 degrees. So 180 take away 15, which is 165 degrees. Now, we need to find out how many sides there are. We know the size of the interior angle, but our aim is to work out what the size of the interior angle is. I mean, how many sides does the shape have? Now, we worked out the size of the interior angle, which is 165 degrees. We know the size of the exterior angle. is 15 degrees, but we are interested in working out how many sides the polygon has. Now let's write down the formula of working out the interior angle. So interior angles, we know that the total angles divided by the number of angles will give us each interior angle. And in that case, we need to write down the formula. So we know the number of sides, take away 2, times that by 180, and divide that by total number of sides. That is the formula for finding the interior angle. And if you're not sure how to find that, on my Instagram, I have shown I've done a demonstration how to find the interior angles by drawing triangles. So please do check it out. Mr_Mahmood_Maths. Now we know that this interior angle is equal to 165 degrees, so we can put this formula expression equal to 165. So n minus 2 times by 180 divided by n equal to 165, because that's our interior angle, 165 degrees. Now let's solve it. Multiply by n both sides. N minus 2 times by 180 is equal to 165n. Take away, so let's simplify the left bit now. 180n minus 360, so multiplying out the brackets, equals 165n. Subtract 165n from both sides. According to the following equation, unknowns on both sides, I'm subtracting the smaller unknown, which is 165n, and this will leave me with 15n on this side, on the left. So 15n minus 360 is equal to 0. These two cancel out. Add 360 on both sides. Sorry, I'm running out of space. I'm going to move on to this side now. Keep your work in order. So that will give us, these two cancel out, so that will give me 15n is equal to 360 divided by 15 both sides. That will give us n is equal to 24. So the number of sides the polygon has is 24. Now I know it's a pretty long question. Just have to remember the process of what we actually have. So involve interior exterior angles. So we need to know the formula. Interior and exterior angle both are at 280 degrees, and form an equation and then solve it to find exterior angle. Find the interior angle by taking it from 180, and then go back to the finding each interior angle and the total interior angle. Each interior angle is 165, and put it equal to the equation and then solve it. And your aim is to find what n is. Okay, hoping that will actually help. Please do not forget to like the video, and also don't forget to comment with any other recommendations or any other videos that you want to watch in the future. And that's it for today. Thank you and good luck with your exam.